Hi guys, it's Nathara. In this video I want to talk about cleansing and protecting your house, property, and person. And this is just one method that I use. There are a lot of other methods, but I haven't done this yet after moving in my new house, and I've been under the weather and energy's been pretty low, and there's been a lot of angst and anxiety in my house, so it's definitely way overdue. If I were a good and disciplined witch, I would do this every month, but I'm not. So I'm kind of lucky if I remember to do it once a year. I do make sure to do it on Samhain most of the time, or Samhain, and did not do it this year because I was ill. So I'm going to do it now because better late than never, right? And I will probably repeat this ideally for the next few months on the full moon. So that's my plan, but I wanted to tell you kind of what my process is. I'm going to be doing a lot of walking around outside, so you're not going with me, but I will tell you what my process is. So the first thing I do is I create a batch of holy water, and I created another video on how to do this, so I'm not going to talk about it here. But this is my holy water, and what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to start out at the edges of my property, well, not my property, the property I'm renting. And I'm doing this very early in the morning so I don't weird out my neighbors too much. But I'm going to take this, and using my natural hair paintbrush here that I bought specifically for this purpose, I'm going to go out and I'm going to, at the edges of my property, I'm going to sprinkle water in kind of a barrier. With the paintbrush, it's actually more of a flicking kind of thing. But I'm going to sprinkle water along the barrier, the border of what I consider my property and what I'm going to consider my territory for the duration of my living here. This is going to include my carport, it's going to go all the way out to the sidewalk, and it's going to include my backyard. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to start out, sorry, my nose is kind of itchy. Anyway, I'm going to start out in the northern part of my property, which for me is that way. And, actually it's that way, sorry, that's east. Anyway, I'm going to start out in the north, and I will go in a clockwise direction around my property and in the north. And then after I do that, I'm going to come inside, and I'm going to do the same thing on the outside of my house walls, and then I'm going to do it inside each room every time, starting in the north and going clockwise. Clockwise is a traditional direction in Western society to help raise power, and so since I'm raising power to protect and cleanse my home, I'm going to go in a clockwise fashion. Now, other cultures do it in different directions. There are several cultures that traditionally start in the east instead. This is true of Asian cultures like Buddhism and Shinto, I believe, and some Native American tribes start in the east. In Jewish mysticism, you go counterclockwise, so be familiar with those kind of traditions and whatever it is that you're practicing. But in my eclectic Western tradition, I start in the north and I go clockwise. So that's what I'll be doing. And again, like I said, I'll be going around the border of my property, I will be going around the outside of my house, and then I will be doing this in each separate room in the house. Now, windows and doors are going to be treated differently. I've already gone through my doorways, and part of my process is I use lemon juice, fresh squeezed from a lemon, and I put it across all the thresholds in my house. Now, I do this for two reasons. One, lemon smells great. Two, it's very cleansing and it has protective properties to it. And three, it repels pests. So it's one of the first things I do, and I do it somewhat frequently to kind of keep up on things. I really don't like to kill bugs, but if I can just have an understanding with them where we don't really commingle, that works for me. So with the holy water, what I'm going to do on the thresholds is I am actually going to paint around the outside. So say this here is my window. I'm actually going to trace the outline of my window with holy water, and that's going to help enhance the protective properties around the windows and the doors, which are traditional openings for energy to flow through. Last but not least, I will be painting in the holy water protective sigils on my windows and doors themselves. So that's kind of my first step in my cleansing process. To complete my cleansing, my next step is going to be to clean my house. Now, there is a reason witches are depicted with brooms, and that reason is because when you sweep an area clean, you are also sweeping out all the old energies, just like the dust. And this is really important to do, so I'm actually going to be doing this step last. I'm going to do a very basic cleaning of my house. I'm not going to do a deep cleansing today because I'm still feeling under the weather, but the last thing I'm going to do in my cleaning process is sweep all of my floors. And instead of picking up the dust and just putting it in the waste bin, I'm going to make sure that trash gets taken outside of my house, which my dumpster is out back through a gate in my backyard, so I will be taking that off of my property. And it's really important, especially when you're doing any energy work, that when you gather negative energies into a place, you don't want to just leave it there, because then it's like having a rotten fruit or something in your garbage bin. The smell is going to kind of waft out, and it's still in your home. And so you want to gather up and you want to physically remove it from your premises. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I will finish the day by distributing holy water through my house as if it were like sage, like smudging with sage. So I will use my little paintbrush again, and I will flick it just kind of everywhere and make sure it goes through the air, and that will help cleanse and protect my home, which I really, really feel the need to do since we have been both me and my honey have been so under the weather, that I really need to get on this. But I wanted to create a video and just kind of tell you what my process was before I get started. So I'm going to go do that, and hopefully you have found this helpful. Bye guys. One more thing I wanted to add. Because this is a cleansing ritual that I'm going through, I have gotten up very early this morning, and the first thing I did was take a shower and go through my own personal cleansing ritual. Because just, if you're going to clean things, you got to do it right. You can see my hair is still kind of damp from that. And I think personally that whenever you conduct ritual of any kind, it's very important to go into it cleans. You want to cleanse your body, cleanse your spirit, cleanse your aura, and then go into the ritual cleansed and empowered. So just a quick little footnote for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, and I will do the best to answer them.